This isn't a review based on a spec sheet. I actually sell these trucks, service them, and see what breaks and what doesn't. My score for the Suzuki Carry 4 out of 5. That puts it at the top of the K trucks I sell, tied with the Daihatsu Hijet. The Honda Acti is the only one that falls short at 3.8, mostly because of its rear-engine layout. The Carry doesn't have that problem, and once you know how this truck was actually born, that score makes a lot more sense. Go back to 1958. Suzuki's president gave his engineers one order build a commercial truck in 1 year. No time for elaborate prototypes, no room for clever engineering experiments. So the lead designer made a decision that still defines the personality of this truck. More than 60 years later, keep it simple, keep it tough, avoid anything that could fail under real work. Leaf springs, front and rear, a low, rigid ladder frame. Nothing fancy, just proven parts that keep working. It worked. The first-generation Carry sold well enough to lock in Suzuki's place in the commercial key market. And from 1971 to 2009, 39 consecutive years, the Carry was the best-selling truck of any size in Japan. Not the best-selling key truck, the best-selling truck in Japan, period. Even competing against full-size trucks. By 2010, cumulative sales passed 4 million units. Here's what that kind of volume actually means. If you're buying one today parts, the Carry isn't just sold under Suzuki's badge. Mazda has sold this exact truck as the Scrum since 1989. Nissan has sold it as the NT100 Clipper since 2013. Mitsubishi has sold it as the minicab truck since 2014. 4 brand names, 1 truck underneath. That means the parts network behind this platform is wider than almost anything else on the market. Because every Scrum, every Clipper, every minicab sold in Japan is quietly keeping that parts ecosystem alive. There's one thing almost nobody outside Japan knows about this truck. Look beyond Japan and you'll find the same platform, doing completely different jobs. In the United States, farmers use them as inexpensive workhorses. In New Zealand, they're a fixture on lifestyle blocks, orchards, vineyards, and small farms. The terrain there is similar enough to rural Japan that the same 4WD system just works. And in the Philippines, this exact truck gets a different name, entirely multi-cab, a nickname born from decades of local assembly. Different country, different job, same reliable machine. But here's the part that surprised me when I started keeping track reliability. Honestly, I can't point to any catastrophic, expensive failure on this truck. Nothing like the Acti's engine replacements. What you do see once a Carry gets some age and mileage on it are 2 textbook issues. Mechanics know well a dirty idle control valve in the intake system, which causes rough idling or stalling, and worn ignition coils, which make the engine run rough or lose a cylinder under acceleration. Every mechanic in Japan knows both of these well. Neither one is cheap to ignore, but neither one is a disaster either. Compare that to pulling an engine out from under the bed. This is a repair, not a rebuild. I run this truck myself in my own rental fleet. The Carry is the truck we hand customers when they need a key truck. No complaints, no surprises. That's not a sales pitch, it's what I'd tell a friend. The basics: a 660cc 3-cylinder engine, naturally aspirated, 50 horsepower, 59 newton-meters of torque. Front engine, rear-wheel drive, a simple conventional layout. Japanese mechanics have serviced for over 50 years. Real-world fuel economy backs it up too. Owner logs for the current generation. Put manual transmission carries around 17 to 19 kilometers per liter. Automatic versions run a bit lower, typically 15 to 16. My own company tracks real fuel economy on the vehicles we handle, and our numbers land in the same range. In American terms, that's roughly 35 to 45 miles per gallon, depending on transmission. So if the Carry and Hijet score the same, why pick one over the other? Honestly, for most buyers, it comes down to small things. The Carry's OEM network is slightly wider. 3 other brands sell this exact truck versus 2 for the Hijet. Parts-wise, that gives the Carry a small edge. Mechanically, they're close cousins, both front-engine, rear-wheel drive, both simple by design. Resale and reliability track closely too. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. Before you decide which grade to import, here's something worth knowing. Japan has by far the largest pool of real owner reviews for this platform, more than any single site overseas. And reading through them reveals a clear pattern. Owners using this truck for actual farm work consistently call out one thing: the part time. 4WD and its off-road capability. One farmer's review literally reads, "Still, an indispensable partner for farm work." Meanwhile, owners using the Carry for everyday city work, light cargo, tight streets, almost never mention off-road performance at all. Their praise is about something else entirely. How simple it is, how little goes wrong, how easy it is to park. I run my rental fleet in an urban area myself, and that matches what I see. Most of my customers are hauling work gear on paved roads, not plowing through mud. For that kind of use, the Carry and the Hijet perform basically the same. There's no meaningful gap between them. But if you're in farm country or anywhere, the road conditions get genuinely rough. That's a different story. Now, one grade you need to know about. If you're using this truck for anything more than pavement. Since 1991, Suzuki has offered a dedicated farm-focused trim called the Noman grade, a name that literally refers to Japan's busy farming season. It's 4WD only. There's never been a 2WD version. Here's what actually makes it different, and what doesn't. The bedgate protector and the extra work light aren't exclusive to this grade. Those are factory options. You can bolt onto almost any Carry. On the current lineup, for example, the Noman grade comes standard with a genuine low-range gear and a diff lock for real off-road. Pulling power, but that's not exclusive either. The sportier KX grade gets the exact same hardware, and both are only offered on 4WD manual transmission models. Automatic and 2WD versions don't get it at all. The one thing you genuinely can't get anywhere else is the reinforced rear suspension. That's the real reason to choose this grade over anything else. Compared to the closest comparable standard grade, it typically costs a bit more. One real owner in snow-heavy Akita, running this exact grade, called the diff lock and low-range 4WD features I'm genuinely glad to have. If you're importing a Carry to run on gravel, farmland, or genuinely rough roads, this is still the grade to look for. The regular Carry handles pavement and light-duty work fine. The Noman grade is built for the day the road stops being a road. One small thing worth knowing before you buy any key truck. Not just this one, the fuel cap locks. You can't just twist it open, you turn the key to unlock it first. Then the cap comes off. Every key truck still ships this way, even brand new in 2026. In my rental fleet first time, customers who've never driven a key truck before get stuck at the gas station, turning a cap that won't budge because nobody told them about the key. It's a 5-second fix once you know it. Now you know. As for the Carry itself, there isn't much to complain about. This is a truck built to disappoint no one and impress no one, and for a work truck, that's exactly the point. Why not 5 out of 5? Because no key truck is perfect. The Carry isn't the quietest. It isn't the fastest. What it does better than almost anything else is simply keep working, week after week, without asking much of you. That's not a flashy reason to give it a high score, but for a work truck, it's the only reason that actually matters. Who should buy a Carry? Anyone who wants the safest, least dramatic choice in the segment. If your roads are rough, or your work is agricultural, look for the Noman grade specifically. If you want a K truck with character, look elsewhere. If you want a truck that simply gets the job done year after year, this is the truck I'd recommend. One thing the Carry has never had, even in its brand new 2026 redesign, a turbo option. We covered why that engine philosophy never changed, and what it means if you're chasing more power out of one. That's next.